Hi, I'm Stu Morris, founding partner of Morris Law Group, and I'm here to talk to you today about what you should know when you're hiring an estate planning attorney. In light of what's going on now, and for those of you watching this into the future, because it's such a great video that it's going to want to be perpetuated from generation to generation, we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic now. And more than any other time, people should be thinking about getting their estate plan in order, making sure that they've taken care of their families and have set up whatever arrangements they want for the future of their wealth. So when analyzing what you should know when you hire an attorney, there are some very essential points that you need to make sure that you have achieved both within yourself and within the relationship you have with that attorney. The first is that you need to find an attorney that you trust and you feel comfortable with to discuss these very intimate details. Estate planning, as I always like to say, I know more about people through their estate planning than most CPAs, financial advisors, and psychologists do. Because we have to get into the very, very ingrained details and the intimate relationships between family members. So it's critical that you find someone that you feel comfortable with. Second, you need to make sure that you seek a professional. There are many attorneys out there that profess to be able to draft a will, but when you have an estate of size and you are concerned about its distribution, you need to make sure that the law firm and the attorney that you hire have those critical skills to understand what's necessary and what's critical to that estate plan. And whether it involves trusts in addition to wills, whether it involves multiple trusts, business entities, how to leave assets to your heirs or charities or to other people that you're planning on leaving that wealth to. It's critical that they have a very good understanding about doing this. So there are a number of concerns that you need to make sure get addressed in this process. One, you want to make sure you understand the asset administration and the management of the assets. You want to make sure if you have specialized assets like business assets, real estate, that the attorney understands how to deal with them, understands the tax implications as well as the distribution implications. For instance, it's critically important that if you are a physician or an attorney and you have a professional company, that you make sure that that attorney understands that that professional company could only be bequested to certain people with certain licenses. You want to make sure that you minimize taxes. The person that you're seeing you should make sure they have a tax background and are understanding in the methodologies of reducing the taxes. Asset protection and wealth preservation. One of the most critical elements that we address when we deal with this is making sure that we've protected you as well as the beneficiaries from any creditors, divorces, and taxes as much as possible. One of the key elements that people don't often discuss but is underlying a lot of the planning that we do is family harmony. Make sure that the attorney understands how to achieve that family harmony. There are many techniques that we use, particularly now while you're living, to make sure that there is an understanding amongst all the family members as to what's going to happen. So there are no surprises when you pass away. That will significantly reduce the litigation after your death. That kind of transparency works wonders for the familial relationship. And making sure that everybody receives it in as smooth a time as possible, taking away any potential hurdles that are there. Estate planning attorneys should demonstrate a very high degree of expertise and a high level of service and discretion. You should make sure that you have consulted with other people that have used that attorney and what kind of reputation that attorney has for both the skill level as well as for the client experience. There's a number of questions that I often recommend that people ask an estate planning attorney before they begin and before they hire him. One of the most basic ones is, what kind of estate planning and tax experience do you have? You want someone that is the focus of their practice. You don't want someone that does it in a by the way type of fashion. And it should be their primary practice. Are they board certified? Florida allows you to become board certified in wills, trusts, and estates, which is an achievement recognized by very few attorneys. It requires a certain level of practice, a certain percentage in the practice, and an exam that has to be passed. And it's a very rigorous exam. So we usually recommend that the clients look out for those board certified attorneys. Also, does the attorney execute the plan? Will they handle the post-death administration or the ongoing administration should it need be? How frequently does the attorney reach out to the client to discuss and review their estate plan? Estate planning is an ongoing process. It's not a one-time transaction, and the attorney and the firm should be geared up for that kind of ongoing communication with the client. What documents should be included in the plan and how are they handled? What type of fee structure does the attorney use? Are they hourly? Are they on a flat fee basis? And when in the process will you know what those fees are? Does the attorney work with your other advisors, your financial advisors, your CPA, your insurance advisor? And is it the attorney who reaches out to them, or does the attorney wait back for them to reach out to the attorney? And finally, although this is not an exclusive list, what type of assistance is given to you, the client, once these documents and these strategies are established? Who is responsible for making sure the assets are properly titled? Who's responsible for the ongoing maintenance? And is there an understanding between you and the attorney about that? So those are some of the very important questions that you should be asking prior to hiring an attorney. At Morris Law Group, the way we work is we have a team approach. Every client is assigned to 2 attorneys and a paralegal when they become a client, and all 3 of those professionals have a full knowledge of your file. So there's always someone to speak to when they come in here. And we have a process that we go through that we want to make sure that everything is covered. And it talks about your assets, it talks about the structure, it talks about the fiduciaries, how the fiduciaries are selected, who they are, and the background and experience that they should have. We do a very in-depth intake process to make sure that we know everything about you and your financial life so that we can advise you appropriately. We meet every 2 years. We solicit the client to have a meeting and a review of their estate planning documents. We make sure that everything is covered, from healthcare documents to tax-oriented documents to disposition documents. So if this is important to you and you want your estate planning done correctly, thoroughly, and in the highest level of service and expertise, feel free to give us a call at Morris Law Group. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.